We are Gathering of the Geeks, podcast and YouTube show built around the things we as geeks all love. Hashtag We Gather on Sundays. Thank you for checking out the one where we kill the Justice League. I'm one of your hosts, Emmet, and I'm joined by the Ted Lasso to my coach beard, Chris Evans. Chris, how are you?
Good. I need to make the intro longer so I can do the tweet while it's still on.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're looking down like you're reading a book there.
It's a good book.
Yeah. Gathering of the Geeks is available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. Just search Gathering of the Geeks and you will find us. Hello to everybody in the chats on this fine Sunday Oscar evening. Phil, Eric, Grabs for a bit. Zeddy jumped in to say hello. Thanks for hanging out for a little while, at least, while Chris and I ramble on, as we usually do. Always loving the Grogu hat. Yeah.
Phil, I didn't know Jamie Lee Curtis got the Oscar already. That's awesome.
Yeah, they did the supporting actors first, I think.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping Barry Keoghan, the guy. I'm hoping he wins for Banshees of Inisherin, but I know he's not.
He didn't.
He has no chance.
That was the first one.
Oh, was it? Who won?
Yeah. What's his name from Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Okay, that's good too.
Yeah, I was going to say it's hard to feel bad.
Yeah, I don't. Let that guy win. He can.
But yeah,
I'm sure Barry has a future of Oscar nominations.
I know. I just think of Barry Keoghan and Banshees so much. I just think about that performance so often. It's crazy.
I think of that, but honestly, I go back to The Killing of a Sacred Deer a lot because I think that's the first movie I really pay attention to him in, and he is so creepy in that movie.
That's Colin Farrell's in that one too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
buds.
They might be. I hope they are. I like that they are.
Mm-hmm.
If they would be, because that makes me think if we ever see Penguin and Joker together, to borrow from our friend Nico, electric.
Electric.
I would love to see them together. And yeah, I agree, Phil. Barry will be back at the Oscars. I think it's guaranteed. He's too good.
Mm-hmm. So last year at this time, I don't think we did a show on Oscar Sunday. If I can't remember correct, I remember we didn't do a Super Bowl one, obviously, last year and this year as well. And I don't think I'm saying we did do a show on those days, but I don't know if we did a show on Oscar Sunday last year. I can't remember this happening because I remember the Will Smith thing was happening and I had seen it on my phone. I wasn't watching it.
We did not. Yes, that's correct. We did not do one on the Oscar Sunday.
So we must have taken that Sunday off, but
not because we were watching it though.
Yeah, the Oscars and watching the telecast is a lot like not watching the Super Bowl for me. It's just something I'm not overly interested in. You're the same way, Chris?
Yeah.
Or any award show, really? Or you're not a fan of I think we've talked about the idea of awards, I think before, but even just the show itself is something that doesn't interest you.
No, I used to love the Oscars and the Golden Globes. I would make it a point to watch all the films and okay, these are my picks. I loved doing that before, but now I don't have the time, I guess. And also I don't care to watch as many of those movies anymore either.
Right.
I watch stuff that interests me instead of, it's going to be nominated, so I want to check it out. There's a different way to look at it for me, I guess. Plus, Bones and All is not nominated, I think. So.
What a disgrace.
It is a disgrace. But no, I think it's fun still. The people who do watch and have their picks, I think it's awesome. And I like reading their stuff, if that makes sense. Yeah, a lot of our friends are really into it. So I like seeing what they say.
It's easier for me to be excited about somebody else being excited about it rather than me be excited about it. So I was the same with you. I spent years being obsessed with the Oscars and, filling out my own little bracket and what have you and that kind of stuff. And I just, like you, I don't have the space in my brain to do that anymore. So I'm happy for Phil and Zeddy's all over or Nico's all over it. I'm happy for them and excited for them because I don't need to be and I can't be.
I also enjoy their picks because if a lot of stuff that Zeddy and Nico, for example, a lot of stuff they like, I also like. So if I see their review for it, I'll check it out. And most of the time, we're on the same page.
Yep. It's easier when other people do the work. Yes. we just ride along at the back.
And I will check out everywhere all at once at some point.
I'm really surprised you haven't seen that yet. That seems strange to me.
I just haven't sat down to watch it. I will though. Maybe if it wins tonight, I will.
Oh yeah.
I'll give it.
You'll have no reason. There'll be no excuse this time.
I think out of the films nominated, Banshees of Inisherin is my favorite.
Nice.
I think. I don't know. I have to look at the list again. But I love that movie, so it's going to be hard to top it.
Yep. Yeah, I think it was Nico and Zeddy. They did their Oscar picks, and I was surprised that neither of them picked anything from them, like even screenplay or I was expecting screenplay, but I think both of them picked women talking. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Grab says, I love when Billy Crystal would do the clips from the movies and then insert himself into the movie. It's the only thing I've ever watched. I didn't know he did that, or if I did, I forgot.
I thought there was one time where he was like dressed up in the full Hannibal Lecter gear, like he was in the dolly with the mask and had the straitjacket on and everything.
That sounds like an MTV Awards movie.
That's what I was thinking.
But I think I'm into that. I love Billy Crystal, so I'm into that. Sure. I kind of miss that he's not in stuff anymore.
Yes.
Phil says, is the first year I've been truly invested in for a long time. Yeah, I'm getting that from a lot of people. I think because this crop of movies has been so much, I don't want to say mainstream, but people have seen them. So it's a little different. Whereas before they'd have stuff that nobody really watched, in my opinion. Like The Artist. I still don't know anybody who's seen The Artist.
I haven't seen it.
Cookie's with us. Hey, Cookie. Bill thinks I will enjoy everything, everywhere, all at once. I know I will. I just have to sit down and watch it.
Yep. Totally fair. All right, Chris, what else did you get up to this week, or the last 2 weeks, really? We didn't have a show last week, so did you get to catch up on anything, or just get more behind on other things?
More behind, but I did read one comic. I read Where Monsters Lie #2.
Uh-huh.
And anybody who remembers when I read that first one, it was just love. It was love.
Just love here, folks.
it was, yes. I love Where Monsters Lie #1. Mm-hmm. Where Monsters Lie #2, I also love it.
Yep.
I think it's just such a weird book. And the art supports it. The story is bizarre. And in this one, they've introduced kind of a new layer to it. What if the final girl essentially comes back?
Mm-hmm.
And the tables are turned. Now they're being hunted, which is a very cool concept because, I love slashers. We've talked about it. Mm-hmm. You don't see Sydney hunting Ghostface. You don't see, you kind of see Jamie Lee Curtis hunting Michael Myers or Laurie hunting Michael. You kind of see it, sort of. But generally, like Nancy never went looking for Freddy. And so in this case, Connor is looking for these killers. So that's cool.
Right.
Also, the violence is beautiful.
That's where I'm at. The violence is just utterly beautiful. It's particularly, I don't know, what is the dummy or whatever, the little guy with the suit.
Frankie.
Yeah, he's just got the knife that seems like it's bigger than his whole torso. That's where I'm at with it. I think the book is just a lot of fun.
He's like classy Chucky.
Yeah. Isn't that what we all need right now?
I think
classy Chucky.
Classy Chucky meets Megan, but that's another story.
Sure. The art, I'm not totally sold on the art, but what I am sold on is the character designs, and specifically, like I was talking about the villains or the killers or whatever. I just think they're so interesting to look at. Even the clown guy, what's his name? At the end,
Richard.
Richard, yeah.
I love how he has a simple name.
I think that makes the most sense too.
It's great.
Yeah,
it's just so smart.
yeah. Him with the end with the with the flamethrower or whatever. It's just the character designs are just outstanding, and the stories in this one, in the second issue, just it started to take those turns, like you were saying about. No, this is something a little bit different. It's not just the gruesome kills and the weird characters. Like there's a little bit of a mystery as well. Like, and I'm happy that you're talking like about this book, like you were talking about Twig last year. How excited you are!
My new Twig.
Like you got that excitement level for an issue to issue kind of read. That this might be it. I think I'll speak for you. Like this book is that. The only book this year that is like that for you, where it's really like I can't wait to read the next issue. Like we're still quite early into the year or whatever, but like that is just as you were talking about. I'm like, Chris was talking about this at the end of last year when he was talking about Twig. It's the same kind of thing, and it's funny how different those books are.
What's interesting is Where Monsters Lie. It feels like it's something more in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Whereas Twig really was an anomaly. Also, hashtag Twigvolution until they bring out the second one, and then we'll have to get a new hashtag. Or maybe we'll stick with this one. I don't know. But yeah, I think I might have found 23's Twig already.
It's just a lot of fun, specifically if you're into the genre about horror, for sure. It's a lot of fun. And, I can't remember if this one was a limited one.
Yeah, it's limited.
I remember when you were talking about Specs, and it was 4 issues. I can't remember.
Oh, Specs was really good too, though. But I didn't read Specs issue to issue, so that doesn't really count.
Yeah, so there's only 4 issues of Where Monsters Lie, and that goes up till May 3rd. I'm not sure if the March, April, May, June solicits are out yet or not. So it'll be interesting if it gets issue 5, because it doesn't really say like in the final issue or ever.
No, but yeah, it is limited.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to get this one collected or not, but or to buy this one physical. And now after reading issue 2, this is definitely waiting for the collected to buy. It's gonna be a good one to have on the shelf. And we talk about when we're doing in October watching horror movies. This feels like that kind of book where you can pick it up in October. Around Halloween. It feels like that type of book, even though it's obviously coming out in February and March and into to May. But this feels like a real good Halloween type of read, just because of the characters and the story and all that kind of stuff. It's just a lot of fun with the gruesome nature to it, which is also cool.
If it continues on this trajectory, I think that it'll be prime for an adaptation to a movie, or like we were talking off here, an anime, which I don't even watch anime, but I'd watch this. I just want to see these characters come to life somehow. I mean, Richard is kind of like, he kind of looks like the clown from Terrifier anyway.
That's right. Fatter. It's a little fatter.
Yeah, he looks kind of similar. I mean, they're based on archetypes. So
right.
Just give it to me. I'm in. As long as it keeps the same quality. We're two issues in. I'm a big fan of it.
Yep. I agree.
Grab is reading Descender after 4 issues, and I wasn't sure, but after 8, I'm all in. I'm confused. So
Descender, it's a Jeff Lemire, Dustin Nguyen book from a couple years ago.
Yeah, but okay, so here's my question though. If after 4 issues you weren't into it, what kept you going? Is it just because it's Lemire and you know that it, you expect a certain level of quality from him, so you would think it picks up, or how did that work for you?
So please answer that question that Chris asked in the comments. For me, this kind of leads into something that I read a week or so ago, which was issue number 1 of Phantom Road from Jeff Lemire and Gabriel Walta. And I was talking to you about it. And when I had read 10,000 Black Feathers that came out at the closer to the end of last year, I read the first issue and it didn't grab me right away. And it wasn't until I read the whole thing in completion where I saw the greatness to it. And then with Phantom Road, I read the first issue and I said, oh, that's okay. It's just okay. And I kept telling myself, oh, this is just like 10,000 Black Feathers, where and maybe this is a Lemire thing now for me that I'm seeing, but his stories, when they're completed and you've read all of it, are just so much more enjoyable for me. And I think that for me, for answering for Grabs, that's what I think it is for me with Lemire now. And I've been, reading Lemire for a long time, and I've read single issues as they came out, but it was the same thing with Primordial from a year or 2 years ago as well. Yeah. Reading it all collected just makes, and this could be every comic ever, but for Lemire specifically, I feel like when his stories are completed and you read them all together, it's just that much more enjoyable because it's a whole story. We obviously, and people do, and we talk about them issue by issue as they come out, just like we're doing with Where Monsters Lie. So you have to do that, but just for more of an enjoyment factor, reading it all together, I think it just makes it so much more enjoyable for Lemire.
I think Scott Snyder is a writer like that too. You have to read it. I mean, you can read it issue by issue and it's enjoyable, but getting the full spread of it is much better. Especially because his stories end up being so long that monthly is just difficult to keep up with. I think Zero Year is about 12 issues long. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
Yeah, it's a whole year's worth of comics. Yeah,
it's a lot. And it's like, well, what happened in issue 1? I don't remember.
Yeah, exactly.
Batman fought with somebody. The Riddler was there. Chaos ensues. Wonderful story. That's probably my
Gotham
favorite.
was flooded. Whatever.
It's a great story. I really do love Zero Year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you there. I like that one too.
Eric says Poison Ivy continues to be amazing.
We talked about that. We were going to read that, and I forgot about it.
I'm going to restart my DC Unlimited subscription, or what is it called? Okay. DC something?
Infinite.
Yeah, that's it. I'm going to restart it this week, so I'll get to it.
Nice.
I will be on the Poison Ivy train. But that's I only read the one book in the last week or so.
Mm-hmm.
As far as watch, though, I did watch a few things.
Yeah, what you got?
So did we talk about Infinity Pool?
No.
I've seen Infinity Pool.
We talked about how disgusted I was by that movie, even not having seen it. But
it's not that disgusting. It's really not. Like, people built it up to be this gore fest of like, like jaws are falling off, eyeballs are popping out.
Yep.
People are eating like vital organs, like cannibals. It's
all
nothing like that. Yeah, all of the gross things. It's nothing like that. So there is one thing that was disgusting, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
It was like you blink, you miss it.
Okay.
Unless you don't blink a lot, that's up to you. I don't know how you do your things. But Infinity Pool was really entertaining. Like Mia Goth, I've spoken at length how much I love Mia Goth, and she's terrifying to me. But
really,
that's a scary.
Did you say that when you were talking about Pearl? Did you say how you were terrified of her? I don't remember that.
Probably, she's a scary lady.
Interesting.
Like, I don't care about meeting Michael Myers in an alley. I don't want to see Mia Goth in an alley. I don't trust the lady, but she's great in it. Alexander Skarsgård's really entertaining because I've only seen him as kind of like a heroic character. Even in True Blood, I don't really consider him a villain, but also in True Blood, he's a little different. He's more like.
I thought it was his brother that was in it. What's his name? Pennywise.
Bill?
Yeah.
No,
I thought it was Bill. I couldn't watch the trailer, so I can't help you there. But I thought it was that Skarsgård.
No, it's the other one.
I gotcha.
It's the mainstream one because Bill is like the indie darling, I think. Still,
that's right.
Alexander's the popular one because of True Blood and other stuff.
I gotcha.
But really, it's the whole cast that's entertaining, and it is a weird movie. Just a strange trip. And I love it.
That's good.
It was really entertaining.
What is the movie about? I have no idea.
I don't know if I explain if it spoils it, but we'll go for it. I mean, the movie's been out for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to explain the damn thing. So it's in Alexander Skarsgård and his fiance or something. I don't remember. I think it's his wife. They're vacationing at some remote country. I forgot the name of it. Mm-hmm. And in this country, if you accidentally murder someone, which I guess is common there, I don't know, accidentally murder someone, they make a clone of you to be murdered. And you have to watch your clone get murdered.
That's interesting.
It's a bizarre, like I said, I don't know how, I guess it happens a lot.
Yeah, quite the concept. Interesting.
Yes, you have to pay some money, you sign a waiver or whatever, and then you have to watch your clone be murdered. And the clone has all your memories. So it's something.
Sign here, initial here, date here.
Right. There's more details to it, but I don't want to spoil anything. So.
No, that if that's the synopsis, that's a pretty interesting synopsis. Chris, you're gone. I'm gonna take that off. Look, I'm split into two parts here. There we go. That's better. Infinity Pool. The only reason I am kind of interested in it or even talking about it is because of there you are.
Hey.
Of the director, Brandon Cronenberg. Brandon?
Yes, Brandon.
Yeah, because he's Canadian. His dad is David Cronenberg, legendary Canadian filmmaker. So that's the only reason I generally have any idea of what his movies are. But much like early in his career, David Cronenberg, that's who his son is kind of into that weird, out there, disgusting, the weird feeling crawling up the back of your neck type of movies that
I was thrown offline for talking about it.
Yeah. There you go.
But I really enjoy it. It's not for everybody though. It is very dark. It's very twisty, and it can be intense.
Nice. But you liked it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is something I will revisit with a smile. Yes.
Nice. With a smile.
With a smile.
I like that.
I enjoyed it quite a bit. Phil says Mia Goth is nightmare fuel. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's because it's the role she keeps picking, but I don't think we're going to see in a rom-com anytime soon.
Yeah, I was thinking about that with Jenna Ortega and Mia Goth. Do you think they're both of them, or we can talk about Mia Goth? Is she typecast now, where she can't be in anything other than a weird, twisted horror movie?
I would like to see her try it. I really would, because I'm sure she's not a psychopath. But the characters that she's picking, they're not the best mentally. Right. I guess Maxine isn't crazy. Yeah. So, Grab says, I remember the first time I accidentally killed somebody while waiting in line for Splash Mountain in Disneyland. Spoiler alert, it wasn't worth it.
That's right.
All you do is get wet. It's very annoying.
Lame.
Yeah, lame. Not my favorite ride. Jeff says, what's up, guys? Hope you all had a great weekend. So far, so good. Brian Cronenberg is a twisted genius. I agree. I want to see more. In fact, I think I've read that his previous movie, the one he made before Infinity Pool, was actually gory and stuff.
Yeah. Shoot, I can't remember what that one was called.
I don't know. It's been recommended to me now that I liked Infinity Pool, but that one I may need to prepare for.
I have to look that up. Possessor was the one.
Yes, that's next on the list when I feel like watching something weird again.
Yeah.
Which
an elite corporate assassin takes control of other people's bodies using brain implant technology to execute high-profile targets.
I'm in.
Sounds pretty good.
It sounds cool. That's good. I watched that. That was a highlight. I watched. You ever seen the movie Birdman with Michael Keaton?
Yep.
I finally watched that. That was a pretty good movie too. Very different in tone, of course, than Infinity.
Sure.
Good time though. I enjoyed that a lot. Michael Keaton is great in it. Emma Stone, of course, but Edward Norton is who stood out to me.
I agree.
I think Edward Norton is one of those actors who consistently delivers really good performances. But lately, he's just not talked about. Yeah.
Well, and considering how he started out, like Fight Club, Primal Fear, American History X, early on, he was like a big
Hannibal,
going to be a big star. Yeah, Hannibal. And I don't even know what he is now. Like he was in Glass Onion.
Yes.
I don't know what he is now.
He's just a dude playing a dude.
Birdman's from what? Like that's
2014.
I was going to say 10 years ago, almost now. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I probably only see Birdman once, but yeah, I don't think I liked it as much as you, but I agree about the Edward Norton thing.
Good stuff.
He's great in that movie for sure. What do you think about what do you think about the style of the movie, where it was supposed to be like one shot?
Fun. I like that a lot. That was different. I've seen movies where they've supposedly been one take. There was one with Elizabeth Olsen. I can't remember the name of it. It wasn't very good, but that I believe was one single take.
Okay.
And it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't amazing. I'd seen it at an early screening, so like a press screening, and it was cool at the time, but it's a bad sign when I can't remember the name of it or what it was about.
Fair.
I just remember wanting to watch it because it was one take or two takes, something like that.
Right.
But it's an interesting way to do it, and I think you get a different kind of performance from the actors when you do it that way. Like I was reading some trivia about it, and they cut whole scenes because the actors couldn't do it. They didn't get it right that first take. So it's like, well, we can't use this.
Yeah, right. There's no going back now.
Right, we can't go back. It's done.
Yeah.
It is interesting. So the trivia for that was fun. It's something I'd also revisit just because after seeing the ending, you want to go back and see the magic realism stuff, which I thought was interesting because we've seen it in movies before. It happens, but this one put it to the forefront, and I like that because you can take the ending however you want to take it, I think, and that was the intention. It's ambiguous. If you want to believe he's not around, you could. If you want to believe he's flying, that's up to you.
Yeah, that's right.
You do you, because they do not explain the opening ever. And it's funny that it starts in a way that they don't explain. It ends in a way they don't explain. So you have all the in between to make up your mind.
What was your reasoning behind watching it?
It was on HBO Max.
Yeah. The Birdman is on HBO Max.
It is. I was scrolling through like, well, I want to watch something different tonight, something new. Kind of like what our friend Comic Guy Steve is doing. Right. I wanted to do something like, well, I want to watch something new, and that's what I picked.
I always do that, and I just end up watching something I've watched 1,000 times.
I usually do that, yeah. But I was like, nope, we're watching something new. Because I've kind of been on that train lately to watch things I haven't seen before.
Well, recently, that's what I had done at the end of the year when all the movies that had come out in 2022 were finally on streaming. I felt like I was watching, 2 new movies a week that I hadn't seen before. So maybe that's just my my decompression is just going back to what works.
Yeah, and then I just watched Scream. I don't want to take up too much time because I think I've rambled a lot about stuff I watched, but I like Scream.
All right, the new one.
Yes. Oh, I watched 5 and then I watched the new one. Yeah.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Yeah, I rewatched 5 first, but the new one is good at it. And also, I don't want to spoil anything, but I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Does it lead into a new one?
Not exactly. I mean,
it ends pretty.
It ends kind of like every other Scream movie. Ghostface is defeated. Survivors are surviving. Kick on the red right hand. That song. We're good to go.
Oh, that song plays good. It's got.
I love that song.
It's so good. Love it.
But also, it has there's 2 other good songs on the soundtrack. One is from Demi Lovato. I forget what it's called.
Okay.
The other one is it's on there. It's good. It plays at the end of the movie. You'll like it.
Sure, I'm with you. I'm agreeing with you, sir.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I think you said you're gonna take your daughter to see it on Tuesdays. What you said?
Yeah, hopefully. She's at her dad's right now for a couple days, so I'm waiting for her to. Hopefully, she can watch the last one, Scream 5, I guess, and then go and watch this one. So yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. 5 is essential watching to watch that. You have to. This is, I think, the only one in the series you do need to see the previous one.
That's interesting.
Just because it's the only one.
The characters or the story?
The characters.
Oh, okay.
And there is some. Actually, yeah, no, the story too. It is the only one where you need to watch the one before.
Interesting.
Phil is a big fan of it. Scream 6 is my favorite sequel.
Wow.
I would still expect another Scream. That's a song. Mike Shin from Lincoln has a great song. The Linkin Park guy, that's the other really good song it's at the end of the movie.
Oh, okay.
I'll send it to you later on Spotify.
I always think of Linkin Park at the end of a movie. I just think of Transformers.
What I've done, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the one that has a Halloween theme in it? One of their songs has like the.
Oh,
maybe just I noticed this, but it has the Halloween theme notes. I think it's what I've done.
I don't know if is it that one.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
It's popular.
Maybe. Phil, tell us. You're the expert on
Phil would know.
Tell us.
What did you read and watch this?
So I didn't read anything overly new other than Where Monsters Lie as well. But one thing that came out, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, was the new Superman book from Tom Taylor, The Adventures of Superman John Kent. Number 1 that came out. So I'm getting into that again. I'm going full Superman this year.
Me too.
I don't know. I haven't proclaimed this year, but I'm off Batman. I'm off the Batman main title, and I'm off Detective Comics. I'm okay with
off this show. Goodbye.
That's right. I'm okay if something comes out. Like I know there's a series coming out called Batman Brave and the Bold. Actually,
I didn't know.
That Tom King's going to be working on, and Mitch Garrett is working on. I think it's an anthology series.
I'm
probably wrong about that, but I'm okay if there's some DC Black Label stuff. But as for ongoing titles, I'm off Batman for a little bit. I've lost my interest in it, and I'm very much interested in the Superman stuff. So I think Action Comics 1052 was last week or the week before, 1052, 1053. I can't remember. And obviously we talked about Superman number 1 the last time. I think that was 2 weeks ago. So this week was the Adventures of Superman, the John Kent one, which is going to be really interesting because it's going to lead into more Injustice, which is Tom Taylor's wheelhouse.
Oh, okay.
John's going to be fighting some Injustice characters.
So
Ultraman, I think, is a big one.
Is it going to be like a multiverse crossover thing, or are they just in the regular universe now?
Yeah, so John Kent's still in the regular universe. I think I think Val Zod shows up in this one in the first issue as well, but I think they're all coming to the main universe. So that was this week, and there's another Superman book next week as well. Superman Lost.
It's a super onslaught.
Yeah, it's the year of Superman, because we haven't even got the other Connor Kent book that comes out.
No, I'm pretty excited though for all the Superman content.
So much Superman, it's just nuts. So I read Adventures of Superman John Kent #1, and that was last week, March 7th. That came out.
Was that good?
Yeah, it was good. I'm a big, I'm a big fan of Tom Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
I love a lot of his DC work. And I love his John Kent as well. And I love this John Kent that he's basically kind of, I don't know, redone or remastered for the new age or what have you.
I like John Kent.
Yeah, exactly. So I like John Kent as a kid as well, like the Super Sons with Damian. Mm-hmm. But, Brian Michael Bendis kind of screwed that and made John Kent old, which is okay. I'm okay with that because there still is a relationship between Damian and John a certain way. So I'm okay with that as well.
You know what's interesting to me? I'm not a legacy character guy, but if it came down to it, like the mantles, if they had to be passed to John and Damian, I am completely cool with that. And I expect that to happen at some point. I'd even love to see an Elseworlds or Black Label book where that is the case. Clark is dead, Bruce is dead. Right. These are the heroes.
Yeah, well, in like Tom Taylor's done that with Deceased, where he killed Batman, and Damian was Batman. And also, I think there's a story in Tomasi's run of Batman and Robin, where there's like a futuristic look at who Damian is. What's he wearing? Like a long trench coat or something? And he's Batman.
I don't think that's Tomasi. Are you talking about Batman 666?
No, I don't.
Okay, because Batman 666 or however. That is a futuristic look at what Damian would have been like as Batman, but that's before he became I don't want to say a softer character, but someone you could like.
Gotcha.
So his Batman was more murder happy and stuff.
Fair.
But anyway.
So that was it for new stuff. I went back and started reading my copies of Essex County that I have. The show comes out up here in Canada in exactly 1 week. Mm-hmm. So I'm just kind of getting primed up for that. And that's it for pretty much what I read. Again, I've been watching so much. There's just so much on TV as well. Yes. Like Eric's talking about Picard.
Mando.
Yeah, I watched that. Mando.
Grabs agrees with him on Mando too.
Yeah. What was...
before Damian was a sweet potato pie. I wouldn't even call him a sweet potato pie, but he's a gentleman now. He's a gentleman that owns a cow. I like it.
I agree that Mando was better than the second episode was better than the first. Still not totally on board with it yet.
I'll get to that in a second.
Sure.
Jeff agrees with you. Normally don't read Superman, but enjoyed the new stuff. I've slowly, I read Superman here and there, but I'm all in on check out this new stuff because I also, this year, I want to get more into Superman. Because I love the character from movies. I've read the comics. I like him in the comics, but I don't keep up with the newer stuff, just the older stuff. So I'm in. Now, on the subject of Mando.
Let's do it, Chris. You got that, that, what do you call it? The chaos grenade, or what do you call that?
Yeah, it's a little chaos grenade, I guess. I'm not loving it.
I'm there with you, man.
I'm not there. Everybody else seems to be head over heels with this season, and I'm like, I think if not for Grogu, I don't know the correct phrase, but you could see it unraveling to me. Grogu is the glue.
Sure.
Because I did not care about this episode. I don't care about Bo-Katan. I thought the visuals were cool. I did not like them fighting the weird Lou Ferrigno cosplayers.
Yeah, my son thought they were gorillas.
They just like Star Wars gorillas.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I don't know. I'm gonna keep watching. I love the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
But this one is just the mark is not being hit for me.
Yeah, totally agree. The Bo-Katan character is really strange. We saw in the first episode, what was she doing?
Don't throw
sitting on a throne.
Grenade.
Bo-Katan
and then she was still on the throne.
What, you got nothing to do? You got nothing better to do? You're just sitting there?
Looking out the window?
Do something. Yeah. Why are you exactly? Anyways, so it's something about it. It's not for me either. And like I like the Mandalore stuff. Like we're getting like I talked about a couple of weeks ago when I was talking about my love for the prequel series actually, and how I love seeing the Jedi and the Jedi lore and all that kind of stuff. And I love seeing that about the Mandalorian and the Mandalorian. Mando actually going to Mandalore and learning about the history. That's very cool. But I don't know if, and I agree with you a little bit about the Grogu stuff, that if this cute little character who does flips and does Jedi stuff that we say, oh, that's fun.
Is it still though?
Exactly. And like, yeah, I don't know. Something about it. And we're only 2 episodes in. And we'll see if it changes or it keeps getting better. Or it just keeps kind of moving along. But I'm not in love with it as much as I was with seasons 1 and 2.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Grab says, I'm with you. Kinda, Emmet. It feels like throwing the animated stuff would really benefit me watching this show.
What animated stuff?
Well, if you were to, I guess he's talking about Mando. Some of the animated Star Wars stuff is really intricate and people love it.
Okay.
But it's like they're doing their best not to interfere with the animated things.
Yeah.
But I think Star Wars is such a big universe in any medium. You can kind of cherry pick and move stuff around.
Sure.
And especially in this era of Star Wars where there's so much of it, why not kind of mold it together again?
Well, it took me a while just to care about actually the Bo-Katan character in season 2 because I had no idea who they really were because I hadn't watched the animated stuff.
Right.
So it's I have no idea. And again, seeing her now, it's still trying to get excited about who this character is, but like the lore of her and the black saber, which was a lot in, I think that was season 2.
Isn't it just it's just a lightsaber though?
But it has history to it.
Well, so does Obi-Wan's lightsaber.
I get it, but like the idea was like Bo-Katan couldn't have the dark saber because Mando had it,
right?
And whose it was and why it was important. That kind of stuff I like, but maybe I'm looking for more of the lore. Maybe I'm looking for more of the history and not just the cool, not just the moments, right? Yeah,
maybe more of a story instead of moments.
Moments, yeah.
Because even this episode was moments. There was cool stuff in it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
but it's moments. I'm not registering with what's going on. Like it doesn't matter to me. Except the ending was really cool. And I hate to say it, I love Grogu, but I might be getting kind of tired of seeing him do the unthinkable. Like, Grogu can escape a cave by himself, pilot a ship. He can't speak, but he got the point across. Cute. I mean, it was cute. It really was. But
sure.
How long can we have this? I guess.
That's what I was wondering too. Like we're going into 3 seasons of him doing exactly the same stuff that he's been doing since episode 1.
The difference is now he's babbling.
Sure. Well, yeah. Like more talking would be good. He's still floating around his little pod,
which is cute.
So, sure, cute is good.
We know what his first word is going to be at this point.
Daddy.
Dad, father, some form of that.
Yeah, that's right.
Unless it's Yoda, which would be interesting.
That's what my son was like. Yoda's his dad. I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't know that, but I'm not sure.
I don't think it's impossible.
No, of course not.
But that would be really strange if they just did that. And it makes that alien race so much smaller if he is just Yoda's kid. Because we've only seen 3 of this race: Yaddle, Yoda, and Grogu.
Yep.
Phil says Star Wars is not as special anymore. I kind of agree with that.
The V39 guys had that talk on their latest episode about it's Star Wars is in a very weird spot right now. TV shows, movies, no movies,
games, and the games are connected.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting how they do it.
Why don't you call me baby girl?
All right. So I watched Mando this week, and one of the other things that I've been watching a lot, and I did an episode of Midlight Vices a couple weeks ago where we did our top 10 action scenes, fight scenes, and then doing that, it made me want to watch some of the movies that I had in my list. So I watched both the Raid movies again, but then I watched the John Wick movies again, and it's it's not an original thought, but it's so we talk about how goofy it is for Fast and the Furious. They started off stealing VCRs, and now they're going to space. John Wick started off with a guy getting revenge on people who killed his dog, and now we're getting into the sewer one where there's High Table and the Continental.
I'm okay with that though.
I am too. Like, and it's so interesting how the story has evolved and how there is a story. We just finished talking about Mando, where the moments, but it'd be nice if there was a little bit more. John Wick has so many moments, but then it has that, the Barrio with Lawrence Fishburne's character and all the small stuff. And I couldn't be more excited for the Ballerina movie that's going to be coming, the spinoff with Ana de Armas.
Like, you already know my opinion.
I know, but and that scene in 3, where like they go there to it, and you learn a little bit more about who John Wick is, and where he came from. Just in that, like, the scene, I don't know what it is, 15 minutes long, maybe 10 minutes.
Something like that.
And you see some of the ballerinas, and like, oh man, like this, the history of the training, like that's where he was trained and all that kind of stuff. Like, and obviously Ana de Armas is in it. We saw what she could do in her very few moments in No Time to Die with her little action scenes.
And in Gray Man.
I haven't seen Gray Man. I won't see Gray Man. You talked me out of it. But I couldn't be more excited about the Ballerina, John Wick movie. And I like that I think Keanu's going to be in it. I think Ian McShane's going to be in it. I couldn't be more excited about it.
Yeah, I like the Wickverse.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, I'm trying to think of like newer movies, and I was thinking about action movies lately and how they're slowly turning into my favorite genre. But like smart action movies help. And I'm okay with dumb action movies as well. But yeah, like in John Wick's like a smart action movie with its choreography, with its, story where it doesn't have to have a story. Because it could just be stupid, and it could just be action scenes for 2 hours.
That's how I feel about the third one.
Yeah, but
not complaining. It's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, so it's interesting, and we got the fourth one coming out in a couple of weeks, which is crazy, and it's got that Skarsgård in it. It's got that Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah. Bill's in that one. Bill is everywhere. He was in Barbarian.
Yep.
He's in John Wick. He's Nosferatu. He's The Crow, which we have not seen yet.
That movie doesn't exist.
It does exist. I've seen one set picture. It exists. Not of him in the makeup though, because I would have probably already been more excited than I needed to be. But
you can't handle any more Vampire with Renfield coming out this year.
Renfield's a vampire.
No, Nosferatu.
Oh no, I was talking about The Crow.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh yeah, when the first picture Nosferatu, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Your head's gonna pop off this year.
I think, especially because it's him as Nosferatu. Just
yeah, just gonna pop clean up.
He was so great as Pennywise. I can't wait to see what he's great in everything, but as an evil character, he's so good. So
yeah,
I can't wait. Just
so I turned my brain off a little bit this week. I watched John Wick, and then I watched the Naked Gun movies.
Okay.
Just for some fun. And I think you and I talked about this, or maybe you mentioned to me with John Wick, how they all kind of blended together. And obviously they are chapters. The Naked Gun movies just blended together. I didn't remember the second one at all. So I watched those, and I don't know. I just had a lot of fun watching the Naked Gun movies.
I don't think I've ever seen one of those.
No, I figured you had. You like Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Yeah,
Leslie Nielsen. So,
but I don't think I have.
Fair.
I'm trying to think of Leslie Nielsen movies I've seen. Dracula Dead and Loving It, of course. I love that one. Repossessed. Have you ever seen that?
No.
I thought that was pretty funny. I saw that before actually watching The Exorcist, so I don't think I got all of it.
Okay.
it's an Exorcist parody. Yeah, I don't think I've seen the Naked Gun movies.
Another one that I like is he did the Fugitive parody. I can't remember what it was called.
Oh yeah, the I think it was The Wrong Man or something.
Yeah, something something weird like that. I had a lot of fun with that one too.
It's amazing how you made a career out of parodies. I was gonna say shitty parodies, but parodies.
Yeah, just making fun of other. And I gotta get to Airplane.
Airplane is fun.
Yeah.
Grab says, I just recorded a Midlife Vices where I say Major League needs to be spliced with the Naked Gun.
Oh yeah, because he's the umpire at he pretends to be an umpire in a baseball game.
Oh, he does. Okay, I just remembered he's in Major.
Yeah.
Major League is a classic, by the way. Major League and Ted Lasso season 1 are really similar too.
eerily similar.
Whenever I recommend Ted Lasso to people, I would always ask them, "Have you seen Major League?" It's really similar.
Yeah.
Naked Gun 33 and the third, so good.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's the third one.
Yeah, that's the name of the third one. Yeah.
I have not seen it. I don't think I have to revisit them one day and see if I watch it, I'll say, "Oh, I do remember this."
Yeah, it's funny seeing OJ in them too. Oh, geez.
Okay, that was before the trial, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think so. Well, the first one came out in '89.
Oh, that was before that. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not
The
sure when
trial,
the
I think,
third
was
one
like
came out.
94, 95, something like that.
Right. So yeah, there's a funny one where they make fun of the Untouchables scene with the stairs. And they're helping baby carriages up, and then they drop the baby carriages, and then OJ's character has to go and catch them, and there's babies going flying, and he catches one, and he starts to like dance like he scored a touchdown, and he goes to spike it. They're gonna spike the baby down, and the mom comes and catches it, but it's just like I've always thought about that.
It's weird because it's OJ.
Exactly. That's what makes it funny now. It's just like it's OJ, you know?
Yeah, in retrospect, that is a weird choice.
Exactly. So weird.
Yeah.
So that's all I watched this week, aside from some of the new stuff, Picard and Mando. But yeah, next week we're gonna be talking about some more new stuff when we talk about Ted Lasso.
And Superman and Lois.
And Superman and Lois.
And Shazam 2.
Is Superman and Lois on Tuesdays?
Mm-hmm.
Still?
Superman and Lois is Tuesday, Ted is on Wednesday, and then Shazam is on Thursday for me. So
nice. Fun
week.
All right, Chris, let's talk about our poll. You are a sicko and did this weird poll. Of all the polls we've done, sir, this was probably the weirdest. So it's Sunday, so let's get some fun going. You're only allowed to watch one of these movies for the rest of your life. No other film will exist in the world. What are you watching? We got Howard the Duck, Princess Bride, Shrek 3, and The Room. And the unabashed, the winner here is Princess Bride with 74% of the vote. So as we go along, Daniel Voices Comics on Twitter just put on Temple of Doom instead. I like that. I like that answer. Jay Yaz says this poll is tearing me apart. DC Patrol said they went with Howard the Duck. Phil put a gif of Dobby hitting his head against the wall. So, Chris, you raised a lot of emotions with this poll of yours here.
Well, I didn't. When I had the idea for the poll, I initially was saying, okay, I'm going to put all like horrible movies or movies that people don't really like very much. And then for some reason, I don't know, I had like I had a stroke or something. I put The Princess Bride. And I wasn't considering how well received that movie is, how many people love it. So right after I tweeted it, I started to see the reactions like, oh, this one is not like the other.
No.
I made a mistake, and I didn't want to go back on it because, well, people are already having fun with it. Let's just let it roll.
Yes. And
it ended exactly how I thought it would. The Princess Bride just annihilated the other choices.
Like I'm picturing you walking like in an old Blockbuster. You know, you went back in time and you were walking down a Blockbuster and you look to your left, oh, there's Howard the Duck. And you look to your right and, oh, there's Shrek 3. Like, Shrek 3? I don't know. Of all the choices on there, that's the funniest one for me. Shrek 3. Not 2, not 4,
3.
But Shrek 3.
Because 3 is bad.
Yeah. So of all the movies that you posted there, Shrek 3 is the only one that I've seen. So I haven't seen Howard the Duck. I haven't seen Princess Bride all the way through, and I haven't seen The Room. So
you haven't seen The Room?
No.
You're tearing me apart.
Yeah, I have not seen it. Actually, I've seen parts of whatever the thing is with James Franco.
Disaster. Oh, that's a great movie.
Disaster Artist.
That's really good. It makes The Room look so much better.
Yeah.
The Room is it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like you people, the funny people describe how bad the room is, but you don't fully grasp it until you watch it. Right. And I don't mean like clips. You have to watch the entire whatever length it is. It feels like an eternity. You have to watch all of it. And after you watch that, if you watch The Disaster Artist right afterward, it's a redeeming experience.
Yeah, I guess that's the only thing I've seen from The Room is from The Disaster Artist.
Yeah, you have to watch the movie itself, which I mean, I can't in good faith recommend it to any living soul, but it's there. The only movie I hadn't seen in those choices is The Princess Bride. I've seen the rest of them. Unfortunately, well, I like Howard the Duck as a nostalgia thing. Sure. But The Room I never need to watch again, and Shrek 3 also I wish I didn't see.
What's wrong with Shrek 3? What's the beef?
I just remember being horrible. I've only seen it once. Like, no, this ain't it. Because I really like Shrek 1 and 2.
I don't remember which one that is.
That's the one with
Justin Timberlake? Where he plays a character?
It might be. I don't really... I know the second one is the We Need a Hero sequence.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think the third one might be that.
Okay, that's fair.
This is a Chaos Grenade. When are we getting Chaos Grenade t-shirts? We were talking about some merch the other day. It's a special kind of bad. Are you talking about? Have you seen The Room, Phil?
Phil has to have seen The Room. He's probably got an episode of it when it's Phil at the movies.
I would love to listen to it.
Yeah.
In fact, if you don't follow I Love That Movie podcast, you should. But if they ever did The Room, which maybe they have, I have to go track that down because that's a good idea. Because I would love to find someone who loves The Room.
It's got to be someone, one person in this world.
But I do have another poll coming tomorrow, and I assure you it won't be as one-sided, or it shouldn't be. Who knows now?
Who knows?
I mean, when I made that one, I was like giggling in the car, like this will be hilarious.
That's the best thing about the poll, Chris. Is just your emotions as you were making the poll. It's like, oh, this is going to get people going. You know. And
then as soon as it hits in, wait a minute, what did I do? Princess Bride, no, everybody loves it. It's got Andre the Giant.
Yeah, that's true. Those are true words, man.
Other people.
Yeah, so that's our poll. Chris said we're going to have a new poll.
Science returns.
Yes, there's been a delay in science, but it's coming back. It's coming back, people. All right, Chris, we do have a main topic to talk about this week. This week it's a rumor, it's not even a for sure thing, but that the Suicide Squad killed the Justice League, the new game from Rocksteady.
Yes, Rocksteady.
Rocksteady. That was supposed to be coming out, I think, in 2 months.
May 25th. Yeah,
it was supposed to be on May 25th. Anyway, so it's been delayed to sometime this year. Before that, there was a PlayStation State of Play where they showed pretty extended gameplay. Before that, at the Game Awards, there was a kind of a short cutscene where we were shown Evil Batman, voiced by Kevin Conroy. And then before that, I think the only thing that we had seen was something from DC Fandom.
Yes.
And in between that time, or after the State of Play, is when before the State of Play, there was announced that, and you're much smarter with this kind of stuff than I am about the gaming, game types and online stuff. But before the State of Play, it was announced that the game was going to have pay to play or pay for costumes or something that the Avengers game was doing. It was also announced that you had to be online no matter if you're playing the single player or you're playing a multiplayer as well. So because of all that, the rumor then came out last week that it was delayed because the reaction to everything that fans had seen and then thus had read and heard about was basically negative all across the board. And thus they're delaying the game to fix it or what have you. So, Chris, like I said, you're smarter with this stuff than I am about the types of games. So maybe just a little bit more of an explanation about what this game was going to be and why you were not excited for it.
Well, I mean, when it was revealed, the first thing I noticed was it's characters I don't want to play as, really. Other than Harley, because I do love Harley Quinn, but I don't really want to play as Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, or King Shark. As much as I do like King Shark, I don't feel the need to play a video game with him. And so that was initially a turnoff for me. And we've talked about it before. I was kind of iffy on the concept of a third-person shooter with these characters because they don't really fit the bill for that. And coming from Rocksteady Studios, I expected something, I don't know, a little more like the Arkham games, which it's not, and that's fine. I mean, you got to take risks, you got to try new things. I'm not upset about that. But this was meant to be a game's live as a service game, which generally is stuff like Fortnite, if you're familiar with that, or anybody listening or watching, where your player base constantly buys stuff to keep the game new and fresh. So you would buy like a costume or a skin for a weapon or a weapon in general, and these things can cost like $20 just for a single skin. And so that's the road this game was headed.
Real money, not in-game money.
Correct.
20 of your real dollars.
Real money, yes.
Yeah.
And they use the thing, well, you're not paying to play because you could still play without buying these things, which is true, you can. So it's not too much of an issue, but it is frowned upon. It's also it makes it so that the story is not as important. But this game looks like the story would still matter, so it'd be more along the lines of what Avengers was doing. And even if you look at it like that, Avengers failed miserably. I enjoyed it, but it didn't work for a lot of people. And so that's where this game was headed. Now, with the delay, nobody knows what's going to happen, if the delay is even real. If you look at like the release dates when you try to pre-order it, it's not there anymore. That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
Up until this week, the release dates on everything said May 25th. Not anymore, from what I understand.
So from the state of play were more of the insight into what the game was going to be with the pay aspect of it. The trailer that was actually shown, we get a lot of Flash, we get some Wonder Woman in there, get some pretty awesome gameplay. I like the gameplay. I think it looks like a lot of fun. I like the open world concept. The game takes place in Metropolis. It looks like you can go anywhere. The characters, I wasn't as down on playing them, any four of them as well. But for the trailer, Chris, do you have any excitement from that? Because from what we saw at the Video Game Awards with the little cutscene, none of us were overly excited about that scene that was shown. But the gameplay that was shown at the state of play, did that have any excitement level that for you?
Yeah, I thought it looks fun. I think that it looked like it'd be a good time. It's still not like I wasn't sold on it though.
Yeah.
It just looked like okay, if it goes on sale, I'll try it.
Sure.
And I was interested in the story, but other than that, no.
Yeah, it just seems like a weird thing. I don't play these type of games. I don't play Fortnite. I don't. You and I are both pretty heavily into Hogwarts Legacy right now.
Yeah.
There are about 10,000 different costumes, 50,000 wands that you can get in that game, and all you have to do is walk down the street and open a chest, and you get them. And you can look like anything you want. You can look as stupid as you want or as good as you want, depending on what you
glasses.
Want. Exactly. You can customize yourself in any which way possible. And like Hogwarts Legacy is not trying to be anything else. It's not trying to one up someone else. It's not trying to like one up Red Dead Redemption or something. Let's just make a good game. It's open world. There's lots of costumes. Dress how you want. Spend the in-game money any way that you want, and let's just keep it simple. And with Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, it felt like they're not, the studio or the creators are just like, okay, well, there's a way we can get a little bit more money out of people, I guess. But like Hogwarts Legacy is $90. What it sold like millions and millions of copies, like
it's breaking records.
Exactly. Like you don't just make a good game. Why can't you just make a good game? I don't get the idea of all this added nonsense.
Part of it was this game was being designed, I think they started 8 years ago or so. Like right after Arkham Knight was done. And that's when Fortnite started to become a real thing. So when it was being developed, it was like, hey, this is going to be the new thing. We got to get on this. So that's another reason why it is the way it is. If it was developed, within the last 3 years, when the decline had started, it would have been different, I think. Because also these games as a live service are also all declining except Fortnite. The only one that's surviving.
That's interesting.
So, these companies were trying to make the Fortnite equivalent or the one that would beat it, and it's just not going to happen. We'll see what this one does. I know that it's too far along. They can't retool it.
Yeah, what could they actually be doing here with, let's say they're going to, delay it until September. What are they doing with an extra 5 months?
I don't even know what they would do because you can't change it. It's too far. The game is done.
Yeah.
I would think the only thing they can fix is the always online component and put it in a season where it's not as packed. That'd be my only guess.
If there's no way of just taking out the money cost,
I mean, they could, but they won't. Why would they?
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense.
Sure.
Especially because they say they're going to continue to support it after launch with new characters and stories, so they're not taking out the money aspect.
It does not have. Well, it does not have good PR behind it right now, considering everything that's come out about it. So maybe they're just waiting, hoping that this stuff will die down. But at every release or every every time they show us something new, there's always something that someone or everyone finds something wrong, and
you can't please everybody.
You can't for sure, but it feels like the negative is outweighing the positive every chance they have at showing us something.
Yeah.
So it's a long road up, I think, right now for Suicide Squad Kills Justice League. And for me, I just want a good game. I'm still excited for the game, but I will not buy a game and spend more money on a game. The games are already $90 here in Canada. I am not going to spend $20 on a gun. I get that I don't have to. But if the gun's sitting there and it, there's a whole, I assume there'll be a whole menu of things that I can't buy, and they're just rubbing it in my face, it would just be more or less annoying. As for the online thing, that doesn't bother me as much, but what if my internet cuts out? I can't play the game.
That's the weird part of it. Yeah.
It seems kind of an annoying annoyance right now. So we'll see.
That would be annoying.
Mm-hmm. We shall see. Guys, what do you think about Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League? Do you have any hype level for it? Are you excited for it? Let us know in the comments down below. Chris, anything else you want to talk about before we get on out of here?
Nope. We have the Last of Us finale tonight. I'm pretty excited about that.
Oh boy. I'm going to watch it. And I'm scared. I'm worried. I'm nervous. Everything everywhere, all at once.
Oh, there you go.
All right, Chris, let us know what you got going on. You got a new podcast that dropped this week. Talk about it, man.
I do have something new. So I started a project with my friends Phil Walsh and Anthony Caruso. We're going to be focused on talking DCU movie news and just kind of DC stuff in general. So I'd appreciate if you guys would give us a follow over at DC Unlimited Pod on Twitter. Our first episode is up. It is essentially just kind of a long conversation where we introduce what we're about and what we like and what we're excited for. So I think it'll be fun for you guys. We had fun doing it, so that was cool.
Yeah.
But please follow that, DC Unlimited Pod. And you can follow me specifically on Twitter at ThatChris70. But as always, I prefer you follow this show at G of the Geeks. Emmet is always so much better with the plug, so he will take over.
You can follow me on Twitter at EmmettDavis7. Gathering of the Geeks is available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Gathering of the Geeks and you will find us. Like Chris said, we're going to have our new episode of Last of the Geeks, probably coming out this Thursday, sometime this week. And then we're going to have some new stuff coming up on our YouTube channel as well, going forward. Maybe a little bit of news coverage. And we will get to that when it all happens. A quick gathering. That's right. So if you're listening or watching right now, guys, and you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go over and do that right now. Hey, tell your friends too. Be nice if you did.
Mm-hmm.
In saying all that, I want to say thanks to Phil, Jeff, Eric, Grabs, Cookie, Jeff, and Zeddy again for that quick little hello. And saying all that for Chris, and I'm Emmet, and I don't remember what I say. What do I say?
This is usually where I screw up something.
I know. I've been doing Last of the Geeks too much, and I usually say endure and survive, and I think I just say hashtag we gather on Sundays. So
yeah, that works.
Chris, end the show.
Hashtag we gather on Sunday. See you guys next week.